my name's Will and welcome to the Distorted Transmission for today. I'm talking to an Auckland band called Headlock Grave. How are you guys?
I'm pretty good.
And Gabe, you're in the back of a van.
Damn right.
Why are you in the back of a van?
This is turning into my house / recording studio / tour bus thing that I'm building. Yeah, it's sort of my safe space, I guess.
It's got excellent acoustics for an interview.
Yeah, fully insulated, carpet lining, the whole shebang.
Right, soundproof. Just what a van needs to be.
Pretty much.
Cool. All right, dodginess aside, could you guys introduce yourselves, the instruments you play, and also the members of the band that are present and what they do in the band? Max, you want to have a go at that?
I'm Max. I played bass in the band. I play a couple other instruments like guitar and stuff, and so like that's kind of fun to contribute as well. But like it's primarily bass. We have two other guitar players who can't be here at the moment. Liam and Ethan, and they're both just like infinitely better than I could play, so like kind of hand it off to them. And we have a drummer, Josiah, who is just like, he's completely sideways with the way that he does his drumming, so like he's just
Okay, and Gabe, introduce yourself, mate.
Yes, my name's Gabe, Gabriel Ray Bucknell. I do the vocals. Mostly, I used to do guitar as well, but I sort of stopped doing that with Headlock Grave just to focus on more of the vocals. Just it's easier to focus on one thing, you know.
I saw one of the videos of your band, and at the time I didn't know who was who anyway, but there was a guy playing a Gibson Explorer singing. Was that you?
Oh yeah, that was me. I was short hair then. It's pretty weird looking at those videos now. It's like
you're a pretty new band, so this is more of an introduction of the band rather than an in-depth dive into past achievements. So perhaps you can fill me in on the band's history to date, because you've been around since about 2019, I think. Quite a new band.
Yeah, I went to high school with Gabe and Liam, and Josiah wasn't playing drums in the band at the time. We had another drummer, Harrison, and he also went to the same high school as us. And we were just like four dudes who liked heavy metal, and we played music, and that was pretty much it. Like, yeah.
That's often a winning formula, like the sort of the school miscreants get together and play some music. That's not an unusual story for most musicians. Pretty much everybody I know started out in the school band and, you know, tried to make something of themselves. So yeah, it's cool. Even though you've been around since about 2019, you've had a couple of tracks recorded on SoundCloud from 2020 and 2021 respectively. The first one was called Douglas, which to my ears was a mashup of sort of like an early thrash sound with a sort of a tail section that's almost a Rage Against the Machine kind of groove vibe. Although, I mean, I'm an older guy, so I don't really have any sort of newer references to go on, so I'm sort of like picking stuff from back in the day that I'm more familiar with. But the next one was one called Before You Slither, which was kind of a slower, heavy rock, kind of a groove metal tune as well. You define yourself as a metal band, but I mean, metal's it's certainly a very broad genre. What's your musical direction from here on in?
Before You Slither is part of an EP on Spotify with 3 other songs, which I guess is sort of groove metal rock. I guess we weren't really aiming for a genre. We just sort of
landed there.
Yeah. Certainly the stuff we're recording now is going in more of a heavy direction, I guess, because we got another guitarist, an insane drummer, who all he does is play drums and works at the rock shop. He's massive afro. He's unmistakable. And Ethan Carlisle, the new second guitarist, is, you know, as Max said, majorly talented. And then with my focus just being on vocals, I think it'll just sort of honed in a bit more and sort of focused. And with that new focus, we've sort of progressed into trying to make heavier music, I guess. But, you know, also having fun and making it, letting it come naturally, you know.
You do have a nice singing voice, so it seems that you're kind of developing that and moving toward that style in your singing as well. Like it's becoming a bit more melodic than perhaps the first track.
Yeah,
which is a good thing, I think.
yeah, thanks. I'm still trying to find my voice, I guess, and sort of progress it as much as I can. And I've had a lot of time to focus on that recently, which is great. But yeah, always appreciate good feedback and criticism as well, obviously.
I believe that you're also doing some recording going forward, so maybe we can talk about that.
Dave Rhodes, who did a whole bunch of really good albums with a whole bunch of bands in the 2000s and 2010s. We got in contact with him and we're doing some recording with him. We did some demos recently, and the plan is to like do an album with him sometime this year and have it like all done in time for the summer.
All the songs set and ready?
We've already done like a whole bunch of guide tracks for them with Dave, and we already did all the demos as well. So it's just like refining and then like going into record them properly. And it's just going to be like a really fun process working with somebody like him. And like we're all super excited for it. So it's just going to be like I think it's going to be a really fun process and a really good like learning experience.
How many tracks are you looking at putting on this album?
I think 9. It's going to be like a decent amount of material. Yeah, but we're pretty excited about it, and we think like all the tracks like stand alone as like great songs, but like together like on one project, it's just gonna like really come through. And yeah.
Were those sort of first tracks that I found on SoundCloud, were they tracked by yourself or did you get help with that?
Douglas was done by Matt Holden, our mate who was at SAE for a bit, and he brought us in there and did a really good job on Douglas. We thought that was pretty sick what he did there. And then Before You Slither, as well as the other 3 songs in the EP, was done down at the depot with a guy called Neil. And yeah, he just it wasn't live or anything, it was like all separate, and just mixed it together, and that was that, you know.
The next question is the fact that you've been reasonably active gigging over the past year or so, taking into consideration the COVID lockdowns. Do you have any shows coming up, and what are your plans going forward?
So I'm currently talking to a couple people, trying to get stuff planned at like, local Auckland venues like Thirsty Dog, just stuff like that, just to like keep active. I think there's one being planned for a venue in Grey Lynn, but that's kind of a little bit up in the air. We're keen to play it, obviously, but I think for the time being, it's just like focusing on the next project. But yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, there isn't much more to discuss. So is there anything else you'd like to add to the end of the interview?
Check us out on like Facebook and Spotify and all that kind of stuff. We got some music released and we got some shows upcoming, hopefully. And we're excited about the new album coming out. It's all kind of confidential at the moment, but like there are things being planned. I'd like to give a really big thanks to Dave Rhodes for helping us out with it, and Andrew, our manager, as well, for like organizing it and really kicking us into gear with it. And bandmates who can't be here, obviously, but like I just want to give them a shout out. Liam, Ethan, and Josiah. Yeah.
All right, cool. Gabe?
I would like to thank the entire Auckland music scene, especially the all ages shows that we do, and getting the younger audiences involved, and getting out, seeing some live music, and playing some live music. And I think there's a lot of great upcoming bands coming from that scene. It's great to see. We're pleased to be playing with them, playing with older bands, just getting everyone involved. And thanks to Will Stearman for getting us this interview.
Cheers, Will.
All right, guys. Well, thanks very much for the chat tonight, and best of luck with the recording with Dave Rhodes. I've worked with Dave Rhodes before, and he's an awesome dude, so I know he'll definitely look after you, if nothing else. So, yeah, best of luck with that. Thanks.
Cheers.
Ciao.
Thanks for watching.